How are you? So we're back. So I've actually got me a used piece of 80 grit sandpaper. I already started sanding on this a little bit. It is dry enough that we can start doing that. So we're sanding this down, and what we're doing is we're sanding off all the heavy Bondo we just put on there, and we're just leaving just a fine little bit. Look at that. You see how that's all that's being left here? And so it's filling in all the little dings and dents and all the little miscellaneous minor stuff on there. And it's going to leave just this little bit of a look here, but it's getting rid of all this other heavier stuff. It's going to allow us to come all the way down and all the way up and make it look nice. So then when the primer's on there, it's all going to be primer. It's all going to be one color. It's going to have that round look. You'll never even know the body filler's there. And it's going to look good. See that? And see, when you're doing this, you're not trying to sand it all off. You're trying to sand off just what you need. But you don't want to sand and go, okay, well, I think that's good right there, and just be done. No, you want to actually get the majority of it off. Like this here, I noticed where this crack that was running down here, it wasn't a crack, it was just that gap. And it's a better way of calling it. That gap that runs through here and all these little dings and dents that are here, and you feel it, and you can feel it's actually smooth now in this area. And so you don't want to leave this heavy on here, because you never want to leave your Bondo on there heavy, because I could actually round this off if I wanted to, and I could leave it on there nice and heavy. But you don't do that. You sand it all off. That way it's nice and it gets to where it needs to be, and it's going to look good. That, and this is one of those additional features that when you open the hood, who actually looks, bends all the way down here and goes, oh, yep, look at that. No one sees that. But it's just like cleaning your door jambs. If you don't clean your door jambs in your car when you go to sell a car, it shows. You can clean the rest of the entire car, have it all spotless, but you open your door and your door jambs are all dirty. People notice that. But the second they're clean, people don't notice it. People never notice the door jambs. You'll clean them and people don't even notice. They don't go, wow, you really did a good job cleaning those door jambs. Nobody notices that. Nobody says that. You know what they do say is go, wow, this car looked extra clean for some reason. I can't figure it out. And so that's exactly what we're doing here, is we're doing the little details that really count. Because this here is going to be one of those things, people open the hood, they're going to look underneath here, and they're going to see this engine, and they're going to see this immaculate engine, and they're going to go, wow, this all aluminum engine with the aluminum intake and the aluminum valve cover gasket, their heads, and you know, it looks so cool. They're not going to be looking up here and going, you know, what's all the way up here? No one's going to do that. No one's going to be looking in here into this stuff here. They're going to step back and see the whole firewall shaved and go, wow, that firewall looks clean. There's only a couple holes in there for miscellaneous stuff, and just the brake booster is nothing extra. There's going to be nothing on this side. It's going to be really nice and clean. No one's looking at the details, but that's where it's all at. It's all in the details. See, look at that. And even when you're doing that, there's still this little spot right here, so I still need to come back through. Although, if you're like this, then see, even if I sand that down even more, like how I should, there's still just that itty bitty little spot. But see, that's okay. When you're doing this kind of stuff, that's okay because that's going to be covered by primer. Because although you don't put primer on thick, it lays on thick. And it's watered down body filler is all it is. Which is really nice because it's going to fill all this extra little stuff, all these little scratches in here that you can see, all the other stuff over there. It's going to fill all that, make it all nice and smooth. Like a good example of this is you look at this door and look at how nice and smooth this door looks. I mean, you look back here at this metal and it looks all rough and looks really bad. But then you look at this door and go, wow, that makes a huge difference just having that primered. And when you go to sand this off, this extra layer, you can still kind of see there's still these 36 grit sand scratches in here. And it's really textury right now. But when you start to sand all this out, you sand all that flat and it sands out flat. And so that's essentially what we're doing with the whole rest of this truck. Like when we go to primer this hood, it looks really ugly, it looks textury and stuff, but it's really smooth. And so that's all we're doing basically, is just you're making this smooth, you're making it have that right shape it needs, you're making it look good. Because the body work is key. As you start doing these builds, you realize that's key. Because if it's wobblier than wobbly down the bedside, you don't realize that. I mean, you can feel it. As long as you can feel it's wobbly, it's going to come out wobbly in your paint. So little details matter. If you need to spend the extra hours trying to work on your car and get your bedsides right or get your doors right or anything else right on it, it's well worth doing that. Because it's all in your prep work. Because once your prep work's over and you do your paint, there's no coming back from that. You have to sand it down and do your prep work all over again. So if you have to have hundreds of thousands of hours in a car and your prep work to make it straight, you won't have that many hours. But if you put all those hours into it, you're going to have the straightest car in the world. It's just how much time do you want to do in your prep. We honestly could throw this whole thing together. We could have this whole thing together in 2 days. We can have painted and everything. It would look like shit. It would not look very good. You go, wow, I wouldn't pay $5 for that. But you know what we're doing? We're taking our time. We're making it look good. We are building a $60,000 car or $30,000 car or $50,000 car. Whatever it's going to go for an auction, it's going to be worth a lot. It's easily going to be a $30,000 truck. This will easily be a $30,000 truck when it's done. And people don't realize that. Like we did a bid the other day, and the guy didn't realize that we bid him $30,000 to do his truck, and it was going to give him a $60,000 truck when he was done. He was not going to lose money, and he's like, oh, that's a lot of money, so he's still thinking about it. But he doesn't realize the value that puts into it. Yeah, that is a lot of money, but the value you're getting out of it is what makes a deal. Anyway, I got to get back to work. It's really hard to do that when I'm talking.